Hi, welcome to the Industry Astrology Full Moon Forecast for February 2025. The moon is waxing, nearly full now, the energy increasing. How are you feeling? The moon is waxing, and on February 12th at 5:53 a.m. Pacific time, the moon will oppose the sun and then begin to wane again, feeling confused, uncertain about the future, in a place in between. This full moon is a very rare and powerful full moon because it is right on the edge of the water sign of Cancer, sidereal Cancer, and the fire sign of Leo. This is an area or zone called the Gandanta, a very dangerous, transformational, transitional, liminal space between fire and water, two elements that are naturally incompatible, but when they do come together, can create magic. So there is something deeply uncertain and anxious, and actually very dangerous about this full moon. But there is also a seed of new growth, of transformation within it. Gandanta is sometimes translated as a knot, kind of like a karmic knot. A knot in between two worlds of something that entangles, something that confuses, and because of that, it is considered to be dangerous. It's a dangerous zone, these transformational times, these liminal times. And it is in the sign of Cancer, sidereal Cancer, right before it enters Leo. The full moon is peaking there in Ashlesha. So this is the Ashlesha Gandanta. Ashlesha is called the clinging star or the snake star, and it is connected to the Kundalini power of Naga, the snake, and the serpent in its way of holding poison but also medicine. So this is a very edgy and also possibly deeply emotional and confusing full moon. Under Ashlesha full moon, there is a lot of power for healing. There's a lot of power of accessing the unconscious, especially through hypnosis or through maybe chanting. It's also the Maghi Purnima here in the Vedic calendar in the Panchang. This is one of the most auspicious bathing days at the Kumbh Mela. And it's interesting, I'm in India here still, and I just saw on the news that Modi has closed down all transportation to the Kumbh Mela, or within the city anyway, for at least part of the day on the full moon because of traffic jams, and there's just too many people moving through there. So it is a very unusual time to be traveling. Be aware in general. Also, it's hard perhaps for communication, for also any kind of relationship issues could be coming up. There's an entanglement, perhaps a confusion. It may not be the easiest time to be processing and trying to understand with somebody any kind of dynamics that are going on. So just take it easy. This rare, edgy full moon is definitely a sign of something shifting on a larger level, on the collective level. And as we've seen, the US government making sort of kamikaze, frenzied sort of activity to change things from the inside out. It leaves a space, much like this Gandanta moon, where there is this uncertainty, this sort of free fall, especially if you're going through personal changes or challenges. Right now, this full moon can be feeling pretty unsettling. So a great meditation at this time is surrendering into what is true, and also working with whatever you can do step by step. Venus is at a point in her cycle where her luminosity is extremely bright. It's the brightest she's going to be all year. You can see her in the evening sky. Venus is the goddess of love, relationships, art, music. So There's an auspicious influence of Venus at the moment. She's actually exalted in her sidereal sign of Pisces now as well. And she's gearing up to go retrograde next month. But right before she turns retrograde is the peak of her expression. It is a time of turnarounds, new relationships perhaps, passion, not only for love and romance, but it could also be for creative expression, for security and money as well. 2025 is some pretty transformative astrology moving forward. After this full moon, as we move into March, April, and May, a lot of things are up in the air, and we could see some pretty unsettling things moving forward. But it's also an opportunity for big growth and evolution on a collective level as well. So it's important to be patient with yourself, take things slowly, because things can feel like they're speeding up now. Know that you can, like a snake, shed the old and come back anew, stronger than before. So let's just take a look and see what the tarot cards have to say about this full moon in Ashlesha Nakshatra. The first card that came through is the Lovers. That powerful Venus and the entanglement of relationship, that Ashlesha energy as well. There's something important maybe happening in relationship. There you see the snake even entangled. Edge points are places where negotiations sometimes have to happen. But the trouble with Gandanta is that negotiation sometimes isn't possible. It takes a very special kind of awareness, a deep and insightful connection to cross the Gandanta, to bridge the fire and the water, to bring it together. Mars is also moving very slowly right now through Gemini, about to station forward in just a few days. Mars will station direct on February 23rd in Gemini, which is the sign associated with this card. It's interesting to me that a lot of the government changes in the bureaucracy, to cut out the bureaucracy or fight through it, burn through it, has been happening as Mars went retrograde into Gemini, the sign of communications and negotiations. Well, Mars isn't a very good negotiator, as he's moving back through retrograde, very powerful through Gemini. There has been a lot of fighting and a lot of destruction. So things should start to turn around starting February 23rd. And here we see the Eight of Cups. You know, the edge point of the Gandanta is a place of destruction, of loss, of letting go of the old and allowing in the new. Whether it be on a personal level, maybe it's with friendships or with family members or partners, or on a collective level also, there is something that we have to let go of, the past. The sun changes signs, they call it Sankranti in Vedic astrology, on this day as well. And the sun is entering Kumbha, the sign of Aquarius, which is ruled by Saturn. He's leaving Capricorn, which is also ruled by Saturn. So, we're deep in a very potent part of winter, which is very internal, very spiritual still. And so allowing for a certain amount of surrender and ending is natural right now. And then the Queen of Discs, very auspicious. I feel like this represents, in part, maybe it's Jupiter and Taurus right now, moving so fast. And protective force of Jupiter and Taurus, keeping things together. And also, a powerful Venus also brings in the potential for new abundance, new opportunities into the future. The Queen of Discs moves step by step. There's a patience. She's looking out at a very long journey ahead of her. But her power is in where she is now, in the grounding of what's possible today. So let's take a look. To stay or to go, choices, forks in the road, dangerous precipices. Move forward with what is happening. There is a new horizon appearing through the fog. A new chapter opening. Let go of patterns in relationship, contracts that no longer serve you, and come back to who you truly are. Thank you so much for coming to the Anandashri Astrology Full Moon Forecast. I do offer one-on-one Vedic astrology readings and tarot readings online here from India. I'm going to open my schedule up for a few more slots only, so check it out if you are interested. And subscribe to this YouTube channel. I will see you soon for next new moon. Shiva Ratri.